Hey guys, how's it going? CoreData here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be playing some more cards, and we're taking a look at one of the most popular decks on ladder at the moment, and it is Germany-US ramp. So this is the list. This is Germany-US ramp, and this is a slightly modified version of the same list that both Jaking and Berto Burrito piloted during the Air Supremacy Top 32. So I don't have too much to say on this list. As we're all familiar with, Germany-US has been one of the most popular decks since the beginning of naval warfare, originally in the guise of a quote-unquote mid-range list using 1-2-3s as a win condition, but with the change to 1-2-3s and the actual fixing of the Bergman interaction, it is pretty much now exclusively just a ramp deck. But we are playing a handful of new cards from Air Supremacy, so I think this list is worth taking a quick look at. As I mentioned, this is a ramp deck, so we are of course running 4 copies of War Machine and we're running 2 copies of War Bonds. The idea of this deck is to essentially accelerate yourself into both removal and big board clears. So for example, going turn 2 War Machine, turn 3 Crossfire versus aggro is a pretty standard line for the deck, as well as ramping into late game threats such as Leopold, Capitulation Comet, and Alpenfestung, as well as Bismarck to help close out games. As for the new tools that this deck got access to off the back of Air Supremacy, of course, we have the 2 copies of Seahawk, obligatory in every single US deck at the moment. Seahawk is just incredibly powerful versus both aggro and control decks such as Germany US ramp in particular. Basically anything that wants to run Crossfire right now, Seahawk is incredibly potent against. We do run a handful of things to help answer Seahawk, primarily Firebomb, because it deals 5 damage the turn you play it. It basically deals 4, which kills Seahawk. But yeah, Seahawk, incredibly powerful card in the current metagame, and most decks do need to run answers for it, just because it can really run away with games with the amount of damage it's able to blank versus aggro, or against control decks being able to switch off cards like Crossfire or Sabe, for example. We're also running the new Salamander. This actually was one of the most highly brought cards in the in the top 32. Salamander just being an incredibly credit efficient unit. Very, very good versus aggro, as it turns out. Just being able to go Salamander, ping off one of your cheap aggro units, and then threatening to do that for the rest of the game for a single credit is incredibly powerful. And this is a deck that's able to pretty easily stabilize in the mid game if you don't get run over super early. So if you've hit your ramp and you've hit your Crossfire, for example, Salamander becomes an incredibly powerful board control tool, as well as being able to turn itself into a burn tool later in the game. So yeah, Salamander incredibly powerful into this. We're also running the new Henschel. The Henschel, this card is so powerful. 5 cost 2 up, 4/5, deals double damage against ground targets, including the HQ. Deployment, fight target enemy unit. This is a phenomenal piece of removal, as well as being a very threatening game-ending card. Just slamming a Henschel on 5, removing your opponent's most threatening thing on the board, and then threatening 8 damage into the HQ the turn after, if they can't remove it, will generally win you a lot of control mirrors versus decks that don't have an easy time removing Henschel, such as other Germany-US decks, for example. Yeah, just an incredibly powerful card. Highly recommend playing this. This deck is running Henschel over Panzergrenadiers because we don't really need the extra value. But yeah, you could run Panzergrenadiers in this slot. I don't think it's necessary. I think Henschel is a much more threatening card overall. Aside from that, it is basically the tried and true Germany-US control deck that you're expecting to see. Like I said, all the ramp, all the removal, a little bit of card draw. We are running 5th Rangers. 5th Rangers is an incredibly powerful 4-drop. Frequently, this is going to come down as a 4/4/0 up on turn 4. Again, very helpful versus mid-range and aggro decks that you take trade in frontline, or take frontline control versus other sword decks. And in the late game, this is just a 4 cost 8/8, which is very, very good at sealing up games. Highly recommended. This card has overperformed in every deck I've buttered in so far this expansion since its return to standard. Highly recommend playing with it. Very, very powerful. But yeah, as I mentioned, this deck is pretty much the exact same list that Jaking and Berto Burrito both played in the top 32. The only change I did make was I took out the copy of From the Deep and stuck in the second Blitz Doctrine, just primarily for ladder reasons, with decks like Soviet Italy and Germany US being so prevalent on ladder at the moment. Having the extra Blitz Doctrine makes a big difference in those matchups, whereas the From the Deep is a little bit hit and miss in the ladder metagame. A little bit better in tournament metagames, you can where you have a little bit of an easier time predicting your matchups. But on ladder, I think the second Blitz Doctrine makes a bit more sense. But other than that, the deck is super fun, obviously super consistent. Germany-US is one of the primary decks you're going to face on ladder at the moment. I would be surprised if upward of 50% of your games aren't versus a version of this deck. So yeah, incredibly powerful. Does have a few shortcomings versus very specific decks in the metagame. It has a very mixed matchup versus decks like Soviet Italy Control, and a shockingly poor matchup into US Soviet Boosters in particular. because it has a very difficult time dealing with specifically 175th, and if you leave a single board unanswered, or if your opponent sticks a Seahawk, you just get blown up by Alabama. So yeah, has a handful of poor matchups in the metagame, but is incredibly powerful versus a lot of the popular decks in the metagame currently, such as Shuffle, for example. So yeah, deck is super, super powerful. I highly recommend checking it out. I also want to say very quickly that if you haven't already checked it out, go on over to Jking's channel. First of all, shout out to Jking for the deck list, obviously. But there is also a video up on his channel called Deep Cuts with himself, Bear, and myself. If you're interested in long form content and stuff like that, I highly recommend checking out. A lot of silly stuff come up in those videos, and I do believe there's a new episode up at time of upload for this one. So yeah, I highly recommend checking out. Links to that will be in the description as well as in the pinned comment. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and on some games. Yeah, just it's unfortunate they had double Cobra. We keep the War Machine here. I will pitch everything else. Find a Rado. A Rado's not going to draw us a card for like half this game. Buzzbomb. This could be Navy Burn then. If this is Navy Burn, Seahawk is going to be pretty relevant. It's not Navy Burn, it's just a weird mirror match. We'll just keep passing. We have War Bonds next turn. Aufklärung. If this is like foiled plans, I swear to God. Of course it is. God. They have War Bonds as well. Find Capitulation, find Bismarck. I'll go for a Rado. Draw a Crossfire. In the mirror match, what do we need to 108? Probably Seahawk. He's so right every time. Kriegsmarine. Hates my Seahawk. Buzzbomb. Okay, it's like weird burn. I'll just want to wait this. We have the Alpenfestung. I don't think I die from 6 here. That just gets so predictable. Turpits? Yeah, he has a Turpits as well. Okay, shoots him. That's fine. Yeah, so now we go for the Alpenfestung here. Push the 108 forward. We lose Route, Panzer 3H, Comet, which is unfortunate, Salamander, which is unfortunate, Force Rangers, Shifting Attack, Firebomb, and a Henschel. Oh, plus Research. Okay. We lost a couple of big hits there, but we still have quite a lot in hand. As they go for a Henschel here. War Machine. Yeah, we lost our two main, like, game-ending threats with Comet and, Comet Salamander. Shifting Comet is lethal, yeah. Fair observation, didn't even think of it. Leopold is bad here, because I don't want to give them the shoots him back. I just need to get into a position where I can, like, Bismarck them. That's kind of our win condition here. I don't want to commit this Bergman until I'm committing the Capitulation. I could just Firebomb this. Completely misses the router troop, that's fine. Think you leave it for a turn? I don't... Like, maybe... Okay, this is fine. Turpits. So I'm taking 7 next turn. Again, I can't Leopold because I have just a deploy fight. And I haven't ramped to the point where I can go Leopold Tirpitz. I can go Bergman Capitulation, draw a card, and remove the 1/1 on the front line. That puts me in a terrible position versus their Leopold, though. Could go Capitulation plus Tirpitz. But I really want this card draw is the problem. Because if I take 7, I lose to, like, Comet shifting again. This feels like a waste. Okay, 5th Rangers is pretty good. If they don't put something in the front line this turn, I just go Rangers, push it up, and Tirpitz. War Bonds. War Machine. Route. Okay, and they trade, that's fine. Route or draw a card, find a route. I mean, this is still probably just Tirpitz, right? I could Leopold it, but Leopold gets capitulationed. And they're drawing an extra card from War Bonds as well this turn. So they're going up to 5. This looks really weird. Hits my route, that's fine. Route my router, that's also fine. So these are likely units then? To say they didn't like commit anything else? Seahawk. Seahawk Bismarck, okay. We're at 3. So we die to pretty much anything. How are you doing, guys? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I have to want to wait this. 100% of the time, this needs to be one awaited. Could have played the Bergman. Bit of a mistake. Doesn't really change anything. If they take the extra point of damage, they have the point of damage. Reich Research. For expanded. Expanded for U-boat. I mean, that's a good sign, yeah. It's pretty much the exact same list that J King played in the top 32 of the Air Supremacy tournament. I've just swapped out from the deep for the second list doctrine. Against Germany, we keep Henschel. Everything else can go back, I think. Go for a ramp here. Panzer's a good top deck. Gives us something to do next turn. Let's say drop 8 Bergman. I'll just bottom the errata here. I think the 108 is going to be pretty good. It's fine. We've got War Bonds. Is this where they reveal like Italy ally and they're just Alpine? Japan or Germany, Japan. So Navy burn? Question mark. We can go Bergman here. We have Bergman route. as an option. We have Bergman 108 as an option. Go Bergman Route 5th Rangers as well. Fifth Rangers cleans this up. I can trade into the other. Push this forward. Could also just Henschel. No, I think we go Bergman. Route this. Draw. 0 up. Just do it like this. We keep this at 3 health, so we can potentially draw off it again next turn. I think it's sort of like mid-range aggro. Let's get for 2. Whenever I see like Germany, Japan, I just assume Navy burn, but yeah, this seems to be something different. We do have the answer for this, at least with the 108. Find Crossfire. We have shifting attacks, so if they deploy something else that needs to be 108'd, we can just bounce this back and put it in again. That is okay. Mikura. Play this deck like, okay. Salamander is a solid top deck here. I have to firebomb first though, right? Can do this. See, I want to maintain the body. So if I play Salamander on attack, yeah, it puts me 1 credit too low. Crossfire trade. I just don't think the crossfire is necessary here. Okay, never mind. We're rewarded. We're so smart. It's all right. Sometimes we win. Sometimes we win the coin flips. Salamander of their own. That's fine. What's face with it? Mikura plus. Oh, they don't surprise attack me. That's interesting. I can get the Seahawk down. They have Mikura surprise attack, so they can just clear a thing. Could just Turpits them. I mean, I have the option as well of just going shifting attack on the Panzer and Ding, which might be worth it. Take a second, want to wait here. Should be an Eagle Day in his deck. Okay. that's not worrying at all. Mikura on the tank. Hipper on the one. Oh, Hipper on the Router Troop. That's fine. So we know about surprise attack. We've already seen all the Mikuras out, so I can just drop the Seahawk here. Seahawk pulls double duty here. Has suppression. Okay, so he can surprise attack twice to clear this. Let's see. I can't quite. I can't quite get the errata draw here, which is annoying. I can Henschel this. I can 108 this. Get in with Sally. Send it back to the support line. I'm just going to henshell the 0 up. So the henshell now demands an answer. Could just be capitulation. They could also just have their own henshell here, like Eagle Day henshell. Yeah. That's so annoying. Japan again. Okay. Capitulation is really tempting to keep. The problem is, are we going to ever get to it? We keep her at 100% at a time. Rampant crossfire is huge. Just have to hope that my opponent doesn't have 17 million copies of 33rd Recon. Although the skip on turn 1 makes me believe probably legions. Sure is. It sure is. I could firebombing that just to clear it, but I'm just going to go Rado first. Finds... Okay, capitulation is huge in this matchup. Over Blitz Doctrine, I will take... I'll take the Shtug. Next turn, likely just War Bonds. That puts us into capitulation range. They know about the crossfire. Push 3-3, go for Shifting Doctrine. This is where my opponent fires a punish and discards the capitulation, and I just I just die from sadness. 10th Recon. They now know the capitulation. Ramp. Probably just gonna go for like Contest Doctrine next turn. Contest Doctrine plus Shtug, maybe play the second War Machine. It's in matchups like this and like slower matchups. So like for example the Germany-US mirror match. Having access to Blitz Doctrine is like game determinative. The amount of value it produces, and also in this matchup, if we see like a mouse off this, we just win. It's insane. I can take the Retreat Panzer. You can reset a Legion. Play the Shtug. Play War Machine up to 12 here. So now my opponent has to spend the rest of the game playing around mouse because I might have generated it. Command failure. That is A-OK. 108. I mean, I'm happy enough to pass. I have the Alpenfestung in hand, so... Lublin. Lublin pass. We'll go for... Knowledge is power. So we will go for 108. Bounce this back to hand. Salamander and get this rolling. They mill a Plan West. Coming crazy, but the current state of minute, I think Salamander and Research is too slow for Germany ramp. Maybe. See, the problem is like once the Salamander gets rolling, it's so unbelievably powerful. it's getting to the point where you can get it rolling. Okay, so now they have confirmation I don't have the mouse because they see the Panzer. Okay, Panzer 3H here. Second Blitz Doctrine is huge. Flam Panzer. No, I'll take the card draw here, and then we'll go for the Contest Doctrine. 4H is very strong here. Push the route troop forward. Magic wishes that had Salamander. True. I mean, unless you count like Ragavan in Modern Horizons. That's pretty close to Salamander, right? In for 5. That's fine. Because I'm just going to go for Panzer on this. So I know they're on Hein now, which is very interesting to me. But we have them like dead next turn with Bismarck. Radiant Brigade, stretch. So retreat this. Sets them to 9. Draw card. So the Hien is what, 8 to like plain swing? They're at exact. No, they're not. They're 1 credit off. I'm just thinking of ways I'm dead, and the only way I can think is literally Hien plus Anne. Kyoto Regiment. Long range recon. We'll firebomb first on this. Pingo's face, which is unfortunate. We can go forward with this. Get in with the Sally, get in with for 3 with the Panzer. Play the second Panzer. I think I'll take the 108 here. Still no pilot escape. Once that man show me his blind deck, it was an infinite. Then he has it always second from the top, as well as 50 unique tutors, commander. Okay, so they are playing Sabe. Our board is a bit too beefy though. How are you doing, Zed? I'm just gonna say Zinsh. Hopefully you're doing well. Oh, I mean, Route just... Yeah, Route just ends their career. Japan, yet again. Bergman Route's really good. Alpenfestung, I think we keep. Send back to Henschel, send back Salamander. We're looking for like ramp and or crossfires here. Comet off the top. Yeah, the turn 1 pass is pretty indicative of Legions. Second route. Play the Bergman here. They know it's shifting attack. Plan West. It's a pretty solid Dorado. Find Reich Research, which is also pretty solid. Just cycle a card this turn because we can. Leopold, also very, very good versus Intel. Germany just has a bunch of very good cards versus Intel. Increase the cost of my shifting attack. Punish hits my Alpenfestung. Unfortunate, but ultimately fine. Tirpitz. Grab the 4-4. I'm okay with this because if they go all in on this one hort, I can just go for right research, clear this. I mean, still probably worth because I can kill the recon as well. V1 here. Pop this. Yeah. Oh man. You just eat Legion's life. Yeah, that's kind of what Germany does. Up against Germany yet again. I mean, to be fair, the Soviet-Italy matchup is one I'm expecting to lose. We're 9 times out of 10, like, unfavored. Would you make any changes to the deck? I'm not sure just yet. Like I mentioned, I haven't played that much Germany-US since the 1-2-3, or like with the 1-2-3 nerf. And this is primarily J King's build, but he's normally his deck building is normally pretty good. I could take the second board once, but I think Henschel is probably better here. Henschel is at least a threat. We can play the Henschel next turn. Because 2 hits from a Henschel plus like Comet is pretty much lethal. Okay, so it's Germany, Italy, because of course it is. They pass on 5. So you know what that means. Night Hunters, okay. Damn. His deck building is very fitted to the scenario. You probably wouldn't see him run this list on laddering, I don't think. Let's see, we'll go for find ourselves another route. I mean, it's pretty close to the versions you see on ladder anyway. Big Schutzen. Oh. Big Schutzen is a decent fire bombing target, but also just Panzergren deals with it perfectly and cycles Card. Crossfire. I did miss the opportunity to play the Arado there, which is unfortunate. Could have also War Machine, but I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to wait until 12 and then War Machine, so I go to 13. Also, what was that? Was that a mill? Completely missed what was milled. Router their own, plus Shenano. Push the 6/6. Let's go Comet here. Start getting in. Volks Grenadier. So we're at 13 now. Volksgren goes forward. I can Arado. Firebombing deals 3 phase. Yeah, okay. I'm guessing they don't have the out for the Comet then. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, the deck is super fun, very, very powerful. little bit ill-positioned against, like I said, Soviet Italy and the US Soviet Brewster deck in particular. But the deck, like I said, very, very powerful overall. One of the most consistent decks in the metagame and has been since Naval Warfare dropped. So yeah, highly recommend checking this deck out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said before, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.